A Triceratops at the Zoo. Noah was a good dog. He lived at a zoo. It had once been a lovely zoo where everything was neat and tidy, and the paint was fresh, and the hedges were clipped, and the fences were new. But as the years passed, fewer people came, which meant the zoo couldn't always afford to keep everything as neat and tidy as they would have liked. Despite this, it was still a pretty happy place. Noah the dog loved living at the zoo. He knew all of the animals there, and all of the animals knew Noah.
"Good morning, Noah," said the orangutan as Noah did his morning patrol before the zoo opened.
"Hi, Zuki," replied Noah.
"Beautiful day, Noah," said the elephant as Noah trotted by.
"Hi, Glenda," called Noah.
"Greetings, Noah,"
said the anteater as he spied Noah passing his enclosure. "Hi, Randolph," barked Noah. Noah made the same trip around the zoo twice a day, once before opening and once after closing. He loved the zoo and considered every animal to be his friend. He'd almost completed his morning walk when he heard a voice behind him in the trees.
"Hey, Noah, can I have a word?"
Noah looked up to see a face peering down at him through the leaves. The head was attached to a very long neck that belonged to Jeremy, a giraffe. "Is there something wrong, Jeremy?" asked Noah as he came to a stop.
"Well, you see, I'm a little worried about my new neighbor," explained Jeremy quietly.
"Neighbor? What neighbor?"
"The new arrival in the rhinoceros enclosure."
"I don't understand," said a confused Noah. "There's no new arrival. The rhinoceros enclosure has been empty for a whole year." Jeremy was shaking his head.
"I'm telling you, Noah, there's a new rhinoceros in there, and I don't think she's very well."
"Oh," said Noah. "In what way?"
"I can't quite work it out. Something looks odd."
"That is very strange. I'll go and take a look right away." So Noah jogged along to the neighboring enclosure to meet this new rhinoceros. A low fence ran around the rhinoceros enclosure, but Noah was able to see through the gaps. On the other side was a deep ditch, and there was a wide open space where he was certain to see the new rhinoceros. And sure enough, there she was. Or wasn't, because Noah could immediately tell he wasn't looking at a rhinoceros.
"Do you see what I mean?" said Jeremy the giraffe in a hushed voice. He was peering over from his own enclosure. "Something's odd. She's got, too many horns."
Noah counted them. There was one at the end of her nose and another two above her eyes. She also had a wide, bony neck frill and a chunky tail. "Wait a minute," said Noah. "This can't be right. That's a Triceratops." "My goodness, I do believe you're right," said Jeremy in surprise. "Excuse me," barked Noah as he tried to get the new animal's attention. "Hello!" The Triceratops looked up from the leaves it was munching and gave a cheery smile.
"Hi," she said. "I'm Lulu. Nice to meet you."
Nice to meet you, Lulu. I'm Noah, the zoo dog, and I just wanted to, introduce myself."
"Oh, how adorable," giggled Lulu. "That's so thoughtful."
Said Noah, a Triceratops?"
"I am. Well done you," said Lulu with delight. "Ask her what she's doing in there," said Jeremy in a loud whisper. Noah nodded.
May I ask, what are you doing in the rhinoceros enclosure?"
Lulu grinned broadly. "Well, I'm so glad you asked. I couldn't help but notice that it had been empty for a while now. So I said to myself, Lulu, there's a place you can call home. So I've moved in.
Oh,
Said Noah. Lulu looked up to where Jeremy was peering in. Howdy, my neighbor. Howdy, said the giraffe.
will you both excuse me for a moment? Said Noah, and he ran off to find the head zookeeper. In no time, the edge of the rhinoceros enclosure was lined with keepers and cleaners and shop staff, maintenance folk and office workers. All of them should have been preparing to open the gate to a new day's worth of visitors, but instead, they were stood around staring down onto a real-life triceratops.
Howdy, said Lulu to the assorted faces.
See? Said Noah to the head zookeeper. I told you!
The head zookeeper just rubbed his eyes and stared. Lulu looked up at all the people and noticed the important-looking person stood next to Noah. Are you the big cheese around here? She asked. I'm sorry, he replied. The what? The boss. Are you in charge? The head zookeeper pulled himself together. Yeah, that's me. Is it okay if I stay? Asked Lulu. I'm not in the way or anything, am I? No, not at all. In fact, I think I can speak for all of us in saying you'd be most welcome to stay. Great, said Lulu with a nod. Then I shall. Noah brushed against the head zookeeper's leg.
Is it opening time?
Oh my, said the head zookeeper. It's opening time. It's opening time. Come along, everyone, quickly now.
Within minutes, the first visitors entered the zoo, and it wasn't long until a family arrived at Lulu's enclosure.
Mommy, look, a triceratops,
said the little girl. Now, don't be silly, dear, began the mom, but her own eyes settled upon Lulu.
Well, what do you know? More people arrived. Cell phones were pulled from pockets, photos taken, videos shot. Soon the internet was abuzz with the news that the zoo had a triceratops. The next day was the busiest day the zoo had ever seen. Thousands of people flocked to catch a sight of Lulu the triceratops. She was a huge hit. And the more people that came, the more money the zoo made. Soon the zoo could afford to make sure everything looked neat and tidy, that the paint was fresh, that the hedges were clipped, and that the fences looked like new. One evening, shortly after the last excited visitor had gone home, Noah did his nightly round. Good evening, Noah, said the chimpanzee as he made his bed. Sleep well, Chuck, replied Noah.
Great day today, Noah,
said the warthog while enjoying the sunset.
It sure was, agreed Noah.
Don't stay up too late, Noah, said Jeremy the giraffe happily.
Same goes for you, barked Noah. Finally, Noah arrived at the rhinoceros enclosure, except it wasn't a rhinoceros enclosure anymore. It now had a brand new sign that said, Triceratops Enclosure, home to Lulu the Triceratops.
Good night, Noah, said Lulu.
Good night, Lulu, replied Noah, and thank you for being here. You've made the zoo even better.
The end.
So that you don't miss a single episode, just click that subscribe button.